Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. In this episode we are going to be talking about all the different substrates that Kara tried for drying out her pottery.
Yeah. Well, slip.
Oh, dry, yeah.
It's already dry, dude.
Yeah,
Put your coffee in it.
I'm not the potter person.
Drink the coffee, do the things.
The noise you hear right now is Kara's kiln is firing. That's the fan. We can't shut the fan off, so I'm going to try to use some video magic and calm the fan down. There, that worked. Alright, so the very first one that Kara tried for drying slip was the easiest for us, and that was treated plywood.
Yeah.
So how did that work?
Terrible.
Don't use treated plywood.
It actually got moldy, like fuzzy, and then the black, speckly black mold.
Did the slip ever dry?
The stuff on top and around the edges, all the slip dried eventually on the top and around the edges, but that one took forever because the wood just got saturated. It was not good.
Another substrate that Kara tried was cement board. We had high hopes for that. We watched some YouTube videos on it. It kind of worked.
The only thing is when we cut it, the edges were sharp, so then I took a brick and I ground them down, and I'm sure you'll show that. But yeah, it worked okay. In the cement board, it had little styrofoam pieces in it. So if I were to take even a plastic putty knife to flip the slip over to dry the other side, little chunks of that would get embedded in the clay. So then I had foreign material in my clay, which isn't good. So styrofoam chunks in cement board, not good. And you've been dead!
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the cement board worked well. It was just that we made the slip chunky. And that's not good.
And that's not good.
Another thing that Kara tried was patio block, because we had it, and since it's kind of a cement product, she thought it might work.
Yeah, I thought it would dry it out. Too rigid, like too bumpy, and didn't dry. It took forever again. There wasn't enough air circulation. Maybe the porosity wasn't right. I don't know, but just lost patience with patio block.
And it was heavy. Next thing Kara tried was like a 1-inch thick piece of cement paver. So it was some piece of cement, kind of like a cinder block, except it was just a chunk of concrete, which was meant to be a paver, but it's made completely out of cement.
Yeah.
How did that work?
It was like I would call that on par of the seam, just.
So junk.
Yeah, junk. Not end heavy, and the surface wasn't very big. So
He's eating your cup!
Ah! It's in. You can't eat that, that's for other people.
And it tastes fantastic.
She's trying all these different substrates because she knows plaster works well, but we just didn't want to use plaster because it takes up a lot of space, it has to be thick so it doesn't break, and it's heavy.
Yes, it can be heavy, and most potters, most schools use plaster. I've used plaster. I wanted to see if there was a comparable, thinner, smaller option. So when it's not in use, we could design something that it will slide underneath when it's not full of slip, so it takes up virtually no room, and yet you can slide it out when you want. The
very last thing that she tried, and I think we have good success with it, is a product called Hardie Board. And I believe Hardie Board is meant for bathrooms and showers. So how did the Hardie Board go?
I like it. That worked out well. I didn't pour a plaster slab, so I can't compare it as far as a time lapse of how fast did the plaster dry slip versus the Hardie Board, but from past experience using plaster, I would say Hardie Board is comparable. When you use a putty knife to flip your slip, there's no particulate that gets in your clay, it remains flat, and when it's dry, it doesn't get moldy, it doesn't have any residue left on it, and it's durable. It doesn't crack when you pick it up.
It came in about 3 by 5 foot sheet, made for maybe about $20–$25. We can cut it on a table saw, we just need a dull blade. Because if you don't have a dull blade, you're going to have a dull blade.
The cement board we cut with a skill saw outside. And I would say cutting the Hardie board, still just as dusty, so if you have a dust collector, turn it on, or get a vacuum, shop vac, turn it on.
Or do it outside.
Or do it outside. Yes, but easy to.
So that's the video, everybody. We tried 5 different substrates for drying slip for Kara's Pottery Studio, and so far the Hardie board is kicking everybody's butt. We don't know if it's as good or better or even slightly worse than, what's the stuff you use?
Plaster.
So it's all experiment. So we hope you learned a little bit about drying slip and different substrates that we use. Thanks for watching.
Pretty good for being a woodworker.
Oh.
Talking about clay.
Talking about clay, the wood guy talking about clay.
The wood guy talking about clay.
But thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye. I tell you knock jokes while you're trying to sleep. And make you physically attracted to sheep.
I like being the blurry one in the background. No.
Buy you a warehouse full of pink leotards.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a short video.
Oh.